This is one of the questions that we often ask, if it's appropriate, is how did you manage to then sort of balance, negotiate, navigate your obviously really intense personal domestic situation and your professional career, which is at this point, I'm sure, just sort of picking up pace incredibly.
Right. I then I was at one of the most competitive psychology programs, at least in my area in the country, and trying to get tenure, and had this one boy and then another one 3 years later, and it was really, really hard, and I was told by several people that you can get away with having one baby, but to be a serious scholar with more than one child is impossible. Wow. Several people in my department said things like that to me, and you know, I think that for me the ticket to being able to be sort of fairly prolific while having this other life is amazing graduate students.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they're you know, that's, I can't say enough about the amazingness of graduate students. My graduates, my female graduates, I had one wonderful male graduate student, the rest of them have been female, and they have, you know, they're my daughters and now my friends and colleagues, and that's how I did it. It's not hard when you collaborate with smart people. And I found some other really good collaborators, colleagues in the community. Mary Ann Dutton and I collaborated on a lot of things, and I found some clinical people in the community to work with, and I definitely had to compromise some of my, you know, move to sort of slightly secondary interests when that became just, you know, sort of just an easier path. And I took lots of shortcuts, both as a parent and as an academic, and I didn't spend as much time with my kids as I theoretically wish I had. You know, in practice, I'm not so good on the floor playing with my children. It's just not my thing, and so in some ways, the work was a convenient way to feel like, you know, it's funny because I remember that friends of mine would say, God, by 7 o'clock, are you ready to kill your child? And I said, I don't really know what you're talking about. And I am a killer. I kill people, I yell at them, I get sick of them, so it wasn't a personality thing. And I realized just way into this that, well, of course I don't get sick of them by 7. I just saw them for the first time at 6:15. And it did have that distinct advantage of my feeling always so excited to be with my children, when, despite the fact that I'm not, you know, I never was really a kid person. It felt like it enabled me to be a good parent during the time that I was with them. And then I had a third kid when I left there. As I was leaving, I got pregnant with a third kid. So, so anyway, it was tense and at times, and you know, scary and really anxiety producing. But I think that what helped me, and I also always tell my students this, is to, for me personally, having children was something I knew I wanted. I have 3 siblings of my own, and we come from a very close family, and that was a priority. And so I thought, let the rest of the chips fall where they may. And know that's good, and I know there's no good time. There's no good way to do it. It's always bad. And so I just sort of tried to clear out a space to figure out, separate from everything else, what do my husband and I want for our lives, and then let's see how everything else falls. This was just a lark. It was a sort of fluke that I got this job. I felt it was a fluke, and so this is what's most important.
I think that's so important, because this is one of the issues that women, professional women in our field, just, and in many other fields, just continue to face, is how to navigate this whole having families, being in relationships.
Nobody doesn't,
and it's you know, it's still unsolved, and so it's good for people, I think, to hear how other people
too. And I think the good news for me is that over time, more and more of my male graduate students are struggling with it too.
That's